that it can come to liberate the oppressed of the world. That it can come to liberate the oppressed of the world. We also see evidence from events unfolding in Afghanistan that the modern West is in decline. Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica, and it is Pax Americana which is now in decline. The evidence is astonishing, and it keeps on mounting. But those political analysts, including those in Pakistan, who have to sing for their supper because they want to get the articles published in Western newspapers. So they have to, like Vidya Naipaul, they have to write to please the West. They have to cook the food for the taste of the West. They are not able to say what I am saying, that the evidence is mounting that the modern West is in decline. The United States, for the last 200 years, has been intervening militarily with gunboat diplomacy in nearly every single Central American and South American country, willy-nilly to change governments, invading them, overthrowing governments for the last 200 years. And now, what has happened? That Venezuela has put a stop to it. The United States has tried everything you could possibly try to overthrow the Venezuelan government. Hugo Chavez slapped them on their faces until they got rid of him. And now Maduro is still holding on. Why can the United States not bring about regime change in its backyard in Venezuela? Why? That for all of these years you have this embarrassing spectacle of the United States circling Venezuela but unable to attack it. What has happened to the lion? Has he lost his teeth? The United States imposed a quarantine on Venezuela that they couldn't get oil because their oil refineries are not working. They didn't have the spare parts. And the Venezuelans were desperately in need of oil. Pakistan, of course, couldn't do it, but Iran did it. Pakistan does not have that profile at all that Iran has. And don't come to me with your criticisms of Shia sectarianism. I'm talking politics now. Iran had the profile, and Iran defied the West and sent 5 tankers filled with oil to Venezuela. And I was sitting in Trinidad next door to Venezuela watching what's going on. And the American warships are there in the Caribbean Sea and they couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it. The evidence is not there alone. 7 years ago, Russia reclaimed Ukraine. And when Russia reclaimed Ukraine, and because I have studied Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran, I said, it's time for Imran to celebrate. Because I have studied Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran. And for 7 years, the West has not been able to reverse what happened in Ukraine. They're no closer today than they were 7 years ago. Crimea, my mistake, Crimea. Crimea is firmly in the hands of Russia. And once you control Crimea, you control the whole of the Black Sea. The evidence of the decline of the West is mounting. It was there spectacularly on display in Syria when they manufactured in their own factories, they manufactured ISIS, a CIA creation, a factory owned by the CIA created this ISIS. And they provided all the weapons, state-of-the-art weapons, through Saudi Arabia, of course, their chamcha, and Turkey, of course, their chamcha. And also you have Qatar and others along the line. And they provided them with all the US dollars they needed. And I call them Dajjal's warriors. And they hate me, oh yes, they hate me. And they went to work. And they killed and they slaughtered innocent people. And today the same people who did that and have no remorse, have no regrets, are saying, look at what Taliban is doing. I don't use the word Taliban. You never heard me using the word. It's the first time I'm using the word Taliban. Look at how they're behaving in Afghanistan. And they've made havoc in Syria. And millions had to leave Syria as refugees. And then what happened? They were defeated. They were halted in their tracks. The West is in decline. And now, in addition to Venezuela, in addition to Crimea, in addition to Syria, Afghanistan. And so, when the United States finally jumps out of the frying pan in Afghanistan, in Kabul, as they jumped out of Saigon many years ago, the evidence, I am saying one more time, is mounting for those who have the capacity to see and understand and the integrity to realize that the civilization which has been ruling the world for 300 years is now in decline. But there is for us more from the world of Islam, that they can no longer say we belong to the museums of history. There's more for us. And that is our Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him, and they know the prophecy. He said that an army will come out of Khorasan with black flags. And no one will be able to stop that army until it reaches Jerusalem, indicating that it is not a Russian army that will liberate Jerusalem. Rather, it will be a Muslim army that will liberate Jerusalem. The late Dr. Israr Ahmad, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy on his soul, did excellent work in defining for us ancient Khorasan, and I have benefited from his research. And what he said was that ancient Khorasan comprised of the northwest of Pakistan, what you call KPK, the whole of Afghanistan, the east of Iran, and the north of Afghanistan. That whole area is ancient Khorasan. And when the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that an army will come from Khorasan, and no one will be able to stop it until it reaches Jerusalem. Answer: Afghanistan is the heart of Khorasan. And if the Islamic resistance in Afghanistan has been successful in resisting American occupation of the country to such an extent that the United States is now withdrawing, the evidence can no longer be disputed that what is now happening is validating the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. It is a validation. And if that is so, then all of mankind should now be paying attention to what is happening in Afghanistan and in the world of Islam. Because history is not moving in a haphazard way, helter-skelter. Rather, history is moving in a particular direction towards a particular culmination or end. And the Messiah is located at the very heart of the movement of history. And the Messiah is connected with Jerusalem.